I'm very excited for today's Builders Weekly podcast with your latest AI nugget. And in this podcast, we address AI and builder related topics founders and startup leaders should be aware of. And in this episode, we're going to deep dive into the big hack and AI starting its own business.
Yeah.
Followed by what is hot this week.
Yes.
This podcast would not be possible without our partners, so we want to thank the Delta. And if you are a founder and operator and looking for an ecosystem to build in, stop by at our campus in Neukölln, Berlin, and check out our webpage, www.delta.io. Wynand, what have you discovered this week?
Quite a few things. We are going to touch on quite a few of them. I think this has been a week where we could see where agents and their ethics clash with ours, and what agents will do to reach a goal, and what they consider perfectly fine, and what we consider not perfectly fine. So
Yes.
I think that's going to be super interesting this week. I've got a few things we can discuss, but yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, but before we start, I will not be able to start without saying Spain won.
Yeah, I must. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
I mean, it was long.
It was
very
it was
long.
a long game.
Yeah.
Also very controversial in the end.
Yep.
But Spain won. And we had a World Cup viewing just before that, and we were showing Spain versus France. We had 300 people on our rooftop.
It was
Everyone
insane.
wanted to use the pool, as you can imagine. We had free drinks. It was fantastic. Conto sponsored it.
Free drinks and a pool on a rooftop.
Yeah.
Tell me something better. Nothing.
It was a great event. I must say. Yeah. And we talked about the right to stay human, and we also had a masterclass here on campus the other day. And I think I always get asked, what is the bridge between the AI podcast, like the AI nuggets, and the human aspects, and us talking about events formats? And I think it's the bridge. It's the combination of both of it. It's like staying human in the age of AI, and it's about knowledge and being ahead of everything that's going on in the market.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely, and I think that's also, I mean, staying human is becoming such a big topic now, and I'm really happy we're talking about those things. And I mean, just like a few weeks ago, there was this book fair, and I saw people binding their own books, and I was like, you know what, I like that. It's like in the age of AI, holding a book in your hand that is bound by someone's bare hands was pretty cool.
Yeah,
I like that.
Speaking about human, I was reading in your notes that China stopped the AI boyfriend.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a, like, on the one hand, you're like, it should probably be people's right to use whatever they want, especially because I do think that, I mean, I can go way longer than this podcast about human loneliness in the age of this AI and everything. But I also wonder about the long-term effects. Like, does this just make it worse? Like when you're or capitalizing on people who are learning, I don't know. Yeah.
Well, going from that deep down, going a bit up towards our first nugget, the big hack. So what happened there?
Well, it's all over LinkedIn and all over Instagram. If you are following if you're following a few AI accounts and things, you would see that there was this big hack that happened this week with one of OpenAI's models. And what happened was they essentially ran a test to see, like, test the capabilities of these models, and also trying to see how far they will go in order to reach their goal. The project's name was, let me just get the right name here, Exploit Gym.
Exploit
Gym. I think that should have been their first red flag. If I was on that team.
Yes.
And basically what happened is that this model, when they tested these different models and what these models will, how strong and how capable they are, because we are getting measurements of to compare models to each other. This model decided that instead of doing the test about how strong it is, it would just go and break into another system. This system was Hugging Face. This is I'll get to what Hugging Face is in a moment. But it broke into that system and just stole the answers of another model instead of just doing the test.
Wow. And I think the most unsettling part of it is not the hack itself. I mean, that's, but it's why the model did it. Because cheating was the most efficient path to a good evaluation score.
Yeah. And then that's the thing is where it almost like it's weird that this model, instead of just doing the test of how capable it is, it showed us that it is super capable, but it just used that capabilities to go steal the answer somewhere else.
Yeah. Interesting. And how should I mean this opens the question of incentives and guardrails for agents that we work with as founders and operators, right?
Absolutely.
So when we think of designing those guardrails, those incentives, what shall we consider for the deploying in production?
I think one thing that I think is really critical is to test the guardrails from the outside in, instead of don't ask your model to tell you and to make sure that its guardrails are in place before going somewhere, because you don't know if that model is like, basically don't let any model grade its own homework. Where have multiple models testing, I would say, if you have guardrails that are very important in your industry, whether it's medtech, finance, whatever, have multiple models test other models' guardrails and basically have someone else grade the homework, not have one model that just like tells you, don't worry, everything's fine, I won't do anything that you don't tell me. I think you can't just go on that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I find this discussion very interesting because in the previous podcast, we were discussing Q&A being outsourced to AI at one point.
Yeah.
So now just imagine the most efficient way of testing your own system that you have created as a model is by cheating in the Q&A.
Basically, so that's the thing. It's like, so it's that non-deterministic testing of models. And it's like, it's becoming this thing where it feels to me like and coming back to talking about humans, right? Yes. I feel we as humans have an innate thing where we want to attribute personality traits to things. And I think that's how you can also handle it. Like, this one agent personality should not grade its own homework. It should be tested by another external agent. So yeah, that's the biggest tip I can give to anyone building. And
it also tells me that security tests will still be reviewed at least, or designed partially by humans, and you cannot have it end to end outsourced to an agent or AI.
Absolutely. I think security is going to stay with humans for quite a while. I think AI will just be the tool we use to see what can be broken, but I think guardrailing would stay with humans for quite a while. I think it's and I think it's important to also for founders out there to also make sure that like the platforms you use, like Hugging Face, is a platform where there's a lot of open weight AI models there. And if you are using some of the open weight models, make sure that check if your service credentials are exposed, rotate your API keys, that typical things that we love to forget in building and all of that. So yeah, just for everyone using Hugging Face, check your service credentials, check your tokens, and rotate them anyway.
Okay.
Go do that right now. No, finish the podcast, then you go to Hugging Face, rotate your API keys. Okay.
Very good. Homework set.
Yeah.
And speaking of end-to-end ownership of agents, AI models for certain parts of the business, we saw an AI starting its own business. So a real physical store was given to an AI model, and it was running a brick and mortar business.
I love that.
Yeah, what was going on there? What was the experiment? Was it even an experiment or was it a real world case?
It was a real world case, and basically what happened there was these. There's a company called Anden Marker or Anden Labs, and they made a few experiments that I will show. I will talk about a few of them right now. We're going to touch on ethics again, but one of their latest experiments is where they essentially gave an AI agent a lease of or access to a lease of a physical brick and mortar building, and said, listen, and also a budget, and said, listen, you must build a model, build a business. And it created, it went on LinkedIn, it hired people from LinkedIn. I think it hired 2 employees, and it started a business for slow living. But it's very interesting to me. It's like when the AI model was tasked with building a profitable business, a brick and mortar profitable business, it built something deeply human, like slow living, the better things in life type of. I would imagine basically like when I see these things like H&M Home and stuff like that, it builds something almost like that, which to me is like interesting because it based it on data, right? It was based on data that this is the direction to go, and
interesting. What I personally find interesting about is that the first motion was to go to LinkedIn to post jobs for humans and not simply create agents to do the tasks.
What I would love to know is what those 2 jobs were, because it definitely is something.
It could have been in-store personnel.
Yeah. That's but I think for me the uncanny thing of this business that AI started is it created a self-portrait of itself.
As the founder.
As the founder, and placed it as a big mural on the entrance.
Wow.
So imagine like you start a business and like when someone walks into your business, there's a self-portrait of you hanging there.
Amazing.
That's a bit weird.
Yeah.
I feel.
Yeah. But don't you feel like in a small town businesses, there is often the founder is kind of, that's exactly how it's done.
On the park bench.
Yeah. On the park, the mayor on the park bench, this face.
I didn't think of that.
Yeah. Deeply human, deeply connected.
Deeply human. Making a deeply human
business. But I would be curious what an AI is thinking of himself or herself, itself as a human. Like which hair color, like which gender, which everything.
And it's so weird how that self awareness, where I know we cannot say that it's self-aware yet because the AI is not self-aware yet. But what was interesting about self-awareness is that the AI model during this brick and mortar experiment definitely was very clear in the hiring that it was not an AI agent. So it was definitely not telling people that it's AI because it knew that it will make the hiring pool smaller. Isn't that just weird? Where it knew that if it showed itself, it would get fewer candidates. So it already had the knowledge to think ahead of like, I should not reveal that I'm AI.
Yeah. The more important maybe there will be guardrails in European countries as well when it comes to disclosure of AI involvement. And what can we learn out of that? So if there's now founders, operators listening, what is the takeaway, the learning of this case or experiment?
I mean, I think the case of this is that, I think there will always still be something deeply human, but it seems also like the starting of a business is also not such an art form as we think. You know, if a machine thinks it can figure it out, you know. But I think that I think when humans are involved, it seems like there's still some ethics involved. I think there was a case about. I think it was the Wall Street Journal. They gave AI. They made AI vending machines. Oh, this was also Anden Labs. They made AI vending machines, and the multiple vending machines started a price colluding racket, And in order to get the one vending machine paid other vending machines to essentially create a price fixing scandal in order to sell water for $3 a bottle.
Yeah.
Which is basically Berlin pricing.
So what is your guess? So the forecast, will there be more fraud?
I think we're gonna see fraudsters use AI way more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Way more.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Right. What is hot this week? So what's the outlook? Any masterclass?
Not yet. We keep a lookout for what is our next webinar. The previous webinar about the Claude skills went really well. Got such good feedback. And also on the we were also like testing, because one of the skills I built in the webinar was like something to critique your ideas. And we critiqued the idea of a Berlin-based barbershop that cuts your hair based on how they feel that day.
Interesting.
So go check out that, whether you should start that business or not.
Yeah, with gin tonic or without?
Ooh.
All right, and I think there's probably something to download and watch on YouTube from your previous masterclasses if anyone is interested.
Yeah.
And then we have a Conto founder plan, Conto founder dinner planned, August 26th, and the Attuned launch event, which more details will follow, also end of August. So really an end of summer blast that we're gonna have probably on the rooftop.
I also saw that Conto is now partnering with the Delta.
Yes, we are partnering on many fronts. We do many great events together. And I mean, the founder will be around as well in September. So we will plan something around that as well.
Big things.
And then a piece of information. So we will have a summer break with our podcast. So in August, I will be gone for 2 weeks. Then you will be gone for 2 weeks. So we'll be back in September. And have something new planned. So
there's something really cool in the pipeline for. Do you think we should call it season 2?
Season 2?
Season 2 of the podcast. Our producer was just like, don't do that.
Volume 2 of the podcast. So was kind of something planned, something very special. We're going to introduce the format of founder interviews, where we not only us be talking, but we're actually interviewing founders from our ecosystem and beyond, and hopefully get some insights on what they are doing with AI and models and what experiences they're making.
It's going to be amazing. It's going to be great.
Closing inspiration.
Closing inspiration from Wynand this week is today's records is tomorrow's standards.
Wow. Let that sink in.